Hello beautiful people, how's it going? I'm back with another video, and today we have very exciting news for the first time in a long time about Fantastic Beasts 3.
Because we're beautiful. Future. Forever. My regular niffler.
A couple of days ago, Warner Brothers officially announced on Pottermore that Fantastic Beasts 3 is now going to be going into production in spring, which means it will have a November 2021 release date. I know that sounds like a long time away, but they actually really started, properly started on pre-production in Leavesden a couple of days ago. So they started building sets, and it's actually official that Fantastic Beasts 3 is happening. And I really don't know if you guys understand how much of a big deal that is, because a lot of us, including me, were really worried when we saw the box office numbers of Beast 2 that this third installment was not going to be made, or at least the 5 films weren't going into action as they originally intended them to. But no, Warner Brothers still has faith in Fantastic Beasts 3, and the best news to come out of this entire thing is that, get ready for it, Steve Kloves is coming back to help Joe screenwrite the actual story. Wow. I'm not gonna lie and say Crimes of Grindelwald was a perfect movie. It wasn't, but I enjoyed it very much. But I think a part of the reason I enjoyed it so very much is because I was following the entire thing step by step, to the point where when I got into the movie, there were no surprises, because I knew exactly what was going to happen and exactly when it was going to happen, at what point in the story, the locations they were going to go to, the sets. I knew it all. And whereas some people would think that that is literally essentially spoiling the entire movie for myself, there were also a lot of things I didn't know. The entire use of comma thing and the Lita thing, I had no idea about. And of course, the big reveal at the end, spoiler alert, when Credence is revealed to be a Dumbledore, that was something I didn't know about either. And it was a good experience until, I watched it again, and then again, and then again, and then I realized that none of it really made any sense. And I think one of the reasons it didn't make any sense was because Joe is very used to writing novels. And with a novel, you could easily write an entire page of exposition. Whereas in a movie, when the entire conflict is resolved with a single conversation between Yusuf Kama, Lita Lestrange, and Credence, it feels useless, and it actually feels like an entire waste of time. And that's essentially the feeling that a lot of Harry Potter fans felt when they walked out of the movie, is that it spent too much time focusing on irrelevant characters, building up irrelevant story arcs that no one really cared about. And now that Joe has essentially written the script and has given it to a skilled film writer who actually wrote all of the Harry Potter films apart from The Order of the Phoenix, is a really good sign. It's a really good sign, because it shows that Joe can actually say, you know what, I tried screenwriting, it wasn't the best. You're still going to tell my story, and I'm still going to write it, and I'm still going to approve of the script at the end, but you are going to shape it so it feels like an actual movie with a beginning, a middle, and an end. Obviously, some people use the example that The Crimes of Grindelwald is a 5-arc story. But when you look at the Harry Potter series and you look at each individual film, you can watch each film because it has a specific mystery to it. It has a specific plot. And with The Crimes of Grindelwald, that was kind of missing. Or it was there and nobody really cared about it because the mystery wasn't substantial enough. It wasn't there. It just felt non-existent. And now Steve Kloves is in the mix, and it's really good. Don't get me wrong, he was in the mix in the last 2 films, but he was a producer. He had nothing to do with the writing, with the script, with what went into it. And that just shows growth in Joe. It shows that she understands that maybe she can't do this all by herself, and thank God that they're doing something about it so they don't dig this franchise into a hole. Because quite frankly, if they come out with a third and they just decide that they're not going to make any more, the story will be left just empty-handed. And personally, a person like me who's invested a lot of time and effort and money, a lot of money into the Fantastic Beasts franchise, I would be very upset. And the Wizarding World is already at a crucial state where it's not dying, because of course there are many new generations, and the income of all of the merchandise is at an all-time high. But it's just not on par with what it used to be. People used to think Harry Potter was flawless, and they used to think it was perfect. And after The Cursed Child, that happened, and then Fantastic Beasts came, and now it's going in that direction. But not anymore. Not anymore. Steve Kloves has come to save the day. I'm just really interested to see how that conversation played out. Like, was it Joe who just said, you know what, I can't do this and I need help? Or was it the Warner Brothers executive saying, this movie made $150 million less than the last one because the reviews were atrocious? I remember my first time getting on Rotten Tomatoes when the movie came out, and I hadn't seen it yet, and I saw it was at like 44%. Yikes. It broke my heart. It really did. It was the lowest ranked Harry Potter Wizarding World film by far. The lowest they ever had was like a 70%, and I think it was for the Half-Blood Prince. It really was a train wreck. And I'm not saying that if you like The Crimes of Grindelwald, you have a problem. No, I loved it. I really did. But there were blatant issues, and the biggest one was Nagini. To me, that was the biggest problem with the entire film, because they introduced us to a character who, get ready for it, only had, and I counted, 5 lines. 5 lines in the entire movie for a character that's very crucial. And again, you can say, there are more to come, but that's not what this is about. And now that Steve Kloves is in it, I just feel like he can mesh all of the amazing ideas that Joe has and put it into the movie, which is exactly what he did with all of the Harry Potter films, because there was so much stuff in the films that were left out, but they were left out because the film would have felt very convoluted if they were in there. And of course, there were fans that were really upset, but if Joe never tells us what was supposed to be in the film that didn't make the cut, and we are satisfied with it, it's a win-win situation for all of us. I'm very excited for Fantastic Beasts 3. And that's actually an understatement, because when that announcement came, I literally flipped everything. It was amazing. Like, I looked at my Crimes of Grindelwald pops and I felt love, which is something I hadn't felt for those in a while, because the movie, well, it's November now, so the movie came out exactly a year ago. Wow. Crimes of Grindelwald came out exactly a year ago. It's been a while, man. Like, a real while. But we officially got the confirmation that Fantastic Beasts 3 is going to be taking place in Brazil, which apparently is where the Nazis used to hide out. So Joe really, really is using this Grindelwald and Hitler-like comparison because she thinks it's going to be a good idea, which it could be. It really could be, but people will get offended. I'm just telling you now, Joe. Like, if you're seeing this. Apparently, a lot of the film is going to focus on Dumbledore in Hogwarts trying to destroy the pendant. I think that's a really good idea, because the parts of The Crimes of Grindelwald that shined to me were the parts with Dumbledore, with Grindelwald, at Hogwarts, focusing on the Dumbledore backstory. And David Yates said a while back when Crimes of Grindelwald came out that literally the beginning of Fantastic Beasts 3 would take place, giving us flashbacks all about Dumbledore. So they really are focusing on the positives, and I really think that they're taking on all of the constructive criticism that they've been given. There is not a better thing to do with a falling and failing franchise than to actually listen to the viewers. This is a really good sign. It's not a sign of defeat, as some people on Twitter love to say. It's not a sign that it's sinking. It's a sign that they're asking for help, and they're using all of the constructive criticism. That's really good. It's like if a person is going through some shit and you give him advice and he doesn't take it. It's not going to work out. This person isn't going to find his own thing, because clearly Joe tried to replicate the magic of Harry Potter and it didn't work out for her. It's a completely different entity. And where the magic was really felt by a lot of viewers, including me, in Where to Find Them, Crimes of Grindelwald had issues. It had pacing issues, it had character development issues, and then they just decided to kill off Lady Lestrange, so that's my opinion on that. Because you guys know how attached I got to her character even before the film came out. I'm really, really excited for Fantastic Beasts 3, and I'm going to be making videos on what I expect to see, what I would like to see, my dream sequences to happen, all of that stuff once we get more announcements. And there's also a video I need to make, because apparently Zoe Kravitz had to mix up her Batman schedule because she was filming for another Wizarding World Harry Potter movie. So apparently Lita Lestrange is alive, because quite frankly, she wouldn't be able to film 2 movies at once. And for those of you people who are saying she's in flashbacks, you don't need like months off your schedule to film a couple of scenes. So I hope she's alive. I'd be very happy. I'd be very happy if she was just like out there being tortured in Numengard. I don't know, like I just want her back. And that's pretty much all I had to say about the Fantastic Beasts 3 info that we got dumped today. I'm very, very happy. I'm really happy that the Wizarding World is shaping up. There was an uproar on Twitter when this happened. The Harry Potter fans had faith again for the first time in a long time. And I think it's a good sign. And I'm really, really, really excited. And that's all I have to say. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like and a comment down below. And subscribe to my channel to see a lot more Harry Potter content. Bye guys!